Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Squat Cobbler. I am still evil, still slightly less bald, Dr. Mike. And joining me, as always,
Remembering his social media information.
did it again.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram. And since Mike would probably forget it, you might want to like and subscribe to our channel. We would greatly appreciate it because when we hit 1,000 subscribers, our good friend Vex is going to host a party for.
Yeah, where did this come from? I saw a post about this.
Vex is an awesome human being. That's why.
So apparently Vex has taken over party duties. Awesome.
Yeah,
So as long as there's a party at 1,000 subscribers.
there you go.
Any way you look at it, you guys are getting a party when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe. Hey, you might as well follow me on social media as well. It's at Official Pagan on everything.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, we should probably do a little mini show sometime. Get Vex on and kind of, or maybe we shouldn't because I like the way things are right now, and so I don't want to nudge
Don't
anything.
rock the boat.
Yeah, like, what were you thinking? Why is this? He's a nicer person than you or I, and so he was open to it because I was just trying to spin it to your arcade, and he just stepped right up and said, "I'll do it." So
There you go. So party at Vex's house. And we should plug him since he's so generous to do this. You should check out his band, Starscream, and half a plug to myself as well. He and I have a band together called the Rust Belt that you should go listen to.
and where can one find Rust Belt music, Mike?
Everywhere, and especially on SoundCloud, but everywhere you can find it everywhere. It's out through Universal, so it's wherever music is, it's there.
Excellent. And
All right, but here tonight we're here to talk about some other music, some Alice music, and I do love your background, sir.
yeah, I figured I wanted to find something appropriate for it, and this was a good one. There were too many background images with those stupid spider eyes that gets us back into the argument over favorite album. I said I gotta stay away from the spider eyes, and so this one was good. Go with that.
There was a lot of really cool Alice stuff that's been announced over the last couple of days. So of course it's the anniversary of Love It to Death, the best Alice Cooper album. And just to get another quick one out of the way, vinyl reissue of School's Out. I think I sent you the link for
You
that
did, yeah,
with the desk and the paper underwear.
yes. Yeah, one of the most now the version I got they had discontinued including the paper underwear with the album, but it still was the amazing actual desk that you folded up. It was a piece of art as well as an album, and hand carved desk with Glenn Buxton's initials on it. Dennis Dunaway, everybody there. So yeah, that's been reissued. That's really good. We probably do need to take a moment and take credit for the fact that it sounds like the next Alice Cooper release is going to feature his touring band. And
Yes.
Clearly, due to comments that Mike and I have made,
I mean, I would attribute it 100% to us.
I think that's what it is. Absolutely. So you're welcome, everybody. Which will be awesome because this will actually
Yeah.
be. I don't know how much writing Nina Strauss does, but this would be kind of the first one that she's got a chance to kind of jump some stuff in there. So I'm not as clear on that. Obviously, Chuck and Tommy and Ryan all have very they've done a lot, so it'll be good. It'll be very good.
And the Chuck that Kelly's referring to, if anyone doesn't know, is Chuck Garrick. Kelly claimed he will punch in the face.
Again, that's a measure of distance.
Punching in the face.
that I
It's a measure of
regret.
distance.
It was well a cubit. That was like supposed to be like the length of an arm or something. So I think history's on my side.
Well, the biggest Alice news for anybody who is watching, he and Dennis Dunaway were really good at keeping up the social media stuff updated. The album did really well on iTunes, all in various territories. But the biggest news of it is it debuted at #1 on Billboard's top album charts.
which I don't know the last time Alice did that.
That would be never.
yeah, yeah, that's probably right. Because
That's never.
yeah, even in
According to Billboard, it's never happened.
oh, really?
Yet.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first time Alice Cooper's had a number one album on Billboard. Um, and it's on the album chart. So for anyone who doesn't know, there's a distinction between the album charts and the traditional Billboard Top 200. So normally when you see something hit, number one album and they mean on the top 200, the album charts is a little bit different. And it's definitely something that gets more scrutiny now because of streaming. The album charts means actual album sales, like old school, somebody bought a copy of the album sales. So it's not factoring in streaming and things like that. So this is just, you buy a physical copy of Alice's new album sales. So it's a big feat, especially in today's market, because almost everything is streaming. But it also makes sense to me in a way, because I feel like, as we were just talking about with the reissues and things like that, the amazing packaging that Alice's albums have, I think lends itself to people purchasing physical copies. And also, too, I do think because his fan base, while it is certainly multi-generational, definitely skews a little bit older. I think you're going to get people who have a little bit more disposable income than a 12 or a 13-year-old who's listening to their favorite rapper on SoundCloud.
Yep, I think you're dead on there. I do think the packaging, and so I'm assuming on the album charts, some of the special pre-order kind of structures would count into that, because I'm one of the Luddites that still likes his physical copy. So I helped contribute to Alice's number one position on the charts, and the pre-order package I got was, of course, the album, but also the DVD of the most recent concert that they've recorded.
Now, have you had a chance to check out the DVD yet?
I have not. Beyond seeing Paranoid Personality, the clip of that that was on YouTube, but it's a strong. It's an Alice set, so it's obviously a strong set. It's a strange one because it has both "Woman of Mass Distraction," which is absolutely one of my favorite live songs for Alice to do, and "Halo of Flies," and typically those are both big, kind of sprawling numbers with a lot of stuff going on, and so tended to be only one of those would occupy in a concert. But in this case, both are on it as well. And so, yeah, I haven't. So I'm going to make my way through it. I think we need to talk at some point about concert videos and see what we want to do there for Alice, because I think there's some pretty good content there. But I'm going to settle in soon to enjoy that DVD.
Excellent. And Kelly and I, of course, we did a review of the album already, so make sure you guys are checking out our review and where we ranked it in our continually growing rankings of all of the Alice Cooper albums, well, the studio albums anyway.
Yep, and it's been interesting. And what's really cool is we're the amount of interaction we're getting on our reviews now. Early days when we did Killer, we got a lot of interaction. Our Killer review, there were very interesting YouTube comments that flowed through on that one. But by and large, they've kind of just landed with not a lot of commentary. But recently, when we did Paranormal and when we've talked just about the new album, it seems to be people are commenting more on what we've had to say, and we're apparently kind of getting new subscribers that are going back through the catalog, because we're getting a lot of commentary on like Goes to Hell, Dada, Zipper Catches Skin, different ones there. And so it's been really cool to kind of have different people weighing in, often not agreeing with Mike and I on something, sometimes agreeing, but sometimes not. But it's been really cool to see that kick up. And so I hope that continues, because it's fun.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, all I can say for the people who disagree with us, obviously you guys are completely wrong. Kelly and I are brilliant, experts in all things Alice, and there's nothing you can say that could hold a candle to our opinions.
Yeah, that's the way to harvest those subscribers. keep loyalty. That's the way to go, Mike. Appreciate it. Or this is why I handle the comments on the YouTube channel, by the way. Because it does. You make a good point. Because most of the time they are really good points. There haven't been too many folks that come in that I really disagree. There was one. I'm not totally buying into one of the most recent comments where he had Welcome to My Nightmare, the sequel, is like in his top three or top two, and I'm just
Oh
like,
no, can't do it.
I couldn't do it. I can't really buy
Why
into it.
did he back that up?
He was he gave, oh gosh, it was once he did pull out one song, but he just said it was he just had his, he said we underrated it. It's in his top two, and and he did call out one song, but I honestly can't remember which one it was now. Sorry, yeah, that's not a whole lot of backing information on that, but it does bring up a good point. When we ranked Detroit Stories, I kind of eventually centered in that I needed to use Goes to Hell as my pivot point and say, I don't like this album more than Goes to Hell. Therefore, wherever Goes to Hell sits in my list, it has to be right below it. And that dropped it actually, down to pretty low into the list. We've described before, low in this list isn't necessarily bad, but on the lower
Right.
portion of the list. And as I did that, I kind of looked at that whole middle section, and I do think we need to afford ourselves the opportunity to review our list, review our ranking, and see if we want to make some adjustments. Because I want to make some adjustments, not at the very top and not at the very bottom, but kind of looking in that middle. I need to right some wrongs in terms of kind of where my head's at on some things. So I don't know if you've had second thoughts or whether you just know you're right and that's the list.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I feel pretty solid about my list, but I am willing to revisit it. I think it could be interesting to kind
Okay.
of see where we're at now.
Yeah. Well, why don't we both do it? And if you come back and go, nope, I'm good, then it's not going to be much of a show. And we'll skip doing it.
My list was perfect.
Untouchable. And then I'll just, FYI, Goes to Hell's going to go up further on the list than it is. I think it was pure pressure from Mike, who, again, when we talk about something being lower on this list, it's still a good album. It's still really great. It's just relative to all the other Alice stuff, it kind of trails down. And that's what Mike through the review and all those types of things, that there were pieces of it that just kind of inched it down for Mike on the list. And I think it was pure pressure. Said, well, if Mike thinks it needs to be down there, but damn it, Goes to Hell is a good album.
See, the way you used Goes to Hell, though, as your kind of positioning with that's the way that I ended up using, oh man, Eyes of Alice Cooper, because I felt like this could almost be a sequel to that. So to me, it made sense to rank it alongside that album.
Yeah, and it is, and list in current state, Eyes of Alice Cooper, Goes to Hell. Actually, Alice Cooper's a little higher for me right now, so we'll have to see. But yeah, so we'll take a look, and if there's a show there, we'll talk about it and revisit. Feel free in the comments if you see some major wrongs. Welcome to My Nightmare's not going to rock it up to just
well. So
fair,
that's
fair
an interesting thing, though. Maybe we should do an episode or two where if somebody feels really strongly that we're not seeing an Alice record the way we should be, why don't you come on and you give us your pitch for that album?
Absolutely. We will, yes, absolutely. Anybody out there that's passionate about Alice and has thoughts on their order and would like to come join Mike and I and kind of compare lists, love to have you on. It would be really fun. So give that some thought. We might just maybe do top 10 to keep the show manageable. I don't know. But
well, even if it's one specific album, like if the guy who feels really strongly about Welcome to My Nightmare wants to come on and just defend that record, argue the strength of that record.
Yeah. And as you've already heard, Mike will very objectively listen to what's being said. It's not like he's got his mind made up already. He'll
right, exactly.
Listen, so.
Open-minded.
Yep. Yeah. So if you want to just debate kind of an album's location, except will not be a good show if it's Raise Your Fist and Yell.
I hope, please, somebody who just adores that record. Come on.
We've had one commenter that is a little miffed at our assessment of it, but I can't imagine there are legions. It would be my guess. Could be wrong. We could see. So it's awesome to hear this album's doing well. The touring band album. Did you get a sense on time frame on that?
On the touring band album?
Yeah.
No, I would imagine though that I don't see why they wouldn't be going just right into it, given that touring isn't happening on any large scale anytime soon.
Yep, that seems right. Anything else in the article? I cannot believe that this is Alice's first number one album.
Yeah, according to the article,
Wow.
first number one album in Billboard.
Well, if you think about when like the really good stuff, the really good original band stuff was coming out, the field was full. There were a lot of other people putting out some pretty amazing stuff around that time frame, and so it might be hard to kind of secure that number one spot because you know in the early days you had the Beatles still in play, and
Right.
so it could be a little tough.
Yeah, they were going up against stuff like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, which nothing against either of those bands, although the Monkees are better than the Beatles. We all know that. I would say though, I put Alice above Beatles and Rolling Stones easily.
Yeah. Yeah, as evidenced by the fact that there's not an album by album review of the Beatles or the Rolling Stones on our channel, but there is Alice. I'm in complete agreement with you.
See, we're right. You guys are wrong.
Here you go. Yeah, the one other.
All,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, all of you Beatles fans, you're all wrong.
It's you're way to narrow that target audience, Mike. You're doing a great job in helping us target. So that'll be fantastic. There was another. It just kind of going through some of the comments on our past reviews. Another interesting one that has got me thinking, and I don't really know what to do about it. It's not going to settle our long-standing dispute, but there have been some folks that have said, you know, Alice Cooper, the solo artist, is not the Alice Cooper group. And so for you to kind of squish all of that together and really only have one list that ranks all the material, someone was taking some issue with that and to say you should break out the original group and Alice's solo stuff and have two lists. What are your thoughts on that?
I could see that. That makes sense until the past few records,
Yeah.
because on the past few records you have the reunion songs that are on the solo records, and there was also the live EP that they put out, which we
Mm-hmm.
didn't rank because we haven't done EPs. So, but with the reunion songs, there's been what, two or three on each of the past three records.
There's been a pretty good dose here. Most recently, it has
Yeah.
definitely muddied the waters. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a reasonable caveat for us to put in. This is both Alice. You know, it's all Alice Cooper, either original group or the solo artist. I could also get the idea of separating it as well. You can make that argument, but I'm okay keeping it together right now. But
I'm happy with the way that we did it. I can see their point though, because then, if we're saying, all right, Alice Cooper group and Alice solo is the same thing, then shouldn't Hollywood Vampires be ranked on the same list then, since it's a band that Alice sings for? But then to muddy those waters more, like we said, there's reunion songs on Alice solo
yeah.
records.
And
So
what about Battle Axe, $1 Billion Babies? That's everybody but
right.
Alice. So should that be on the list? Yeah. So I think we're okay, but we'll see. But please, if you like our Alice stuff or don't like our Alice stuff, and want to come in and debate the list, the placement of an album, love to have you on. Please keep the comments coming. Really appreciate that. It's good to get interaction and having some new folks come across our reviews. We really enjoy doing them. And it sounds like Alice is going to keep us busy for a while. Get something new from him with the band, and of course we've been threatening we will be doing Hollywood Vampires, Beasto Blanco, so other Alice related stuff will appear at some point in time.
Absolutely. And I would definitely love for somebody to come on and defend a record that maybe they think we didn't rank as high as we should. Welcome to My Nightmare would be a really interesting one to me, only because if I remember correctly, and I haven't revisited our review of that recently, but I remember, I believe my take on it at least was, I think I liked it more when it came out than when I revisited it for our review. I think it had actually kind of lost some of its luster for me.
Yeah, I mean part of the argument was it had as strong a true line through it. He felt it was a stronger true line through it than Detroit Stories in terms of it hanging together. I would. I mean, there were elements that tried to hook it together. The kind of reprise at the end where they pulled all sorts of cool Alice riffs together into this magical piece of music celebrating Welcome to My Nightmare. And Alice stuff was just fantastic. It was really good. There's fun songs on there as well, but I'm not sure it had the continuity because they were liking it a little bit to like From the Inside. Also had a really good, and I think you compare Welcome to My Nightmare and From the Inside in terms of what hangs together better. Both you and I are big From the Inside guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little more coherent to me, or tied together. But that's everybody's certainly entitled to their own opinion, and if you'd like to, I'll listen. I don't know if Mike's going to listen, but I'd be happy to hear you out.
He says that now until you come on and defend Raise Your Fist.
Yeah, that's true. I'll listen for all but one album. Don't waste your time talking to me about Raise Your Fist and Yell. But so we'll see on that. Cool. Well, anything else for this show, sir?
Nope, that would be it.
Cool. Well, again, thanks for the folks that have been subscribing. Thanks for the folks that have been commenting. We really appreciate it. Let's keep that ball rolling so that Vex can start ordering the paper plates and get the things ready to go, so we can have a nice little get together at Vex's house. So that will be awesome. So thanks for watching, folks.
Thanks, everybody.